you'll be thrilled to know, Nick, that Mayor Andy Burnham launched his campaign this week.
He did, fantastic.
And there's two things here, because he said, what he said was, they said I wouldn't be able to do anything. We've proved them wrong.
Wasn't it? They said we could do nothing, and they were right.
Well, I think there's two. I think he could have also said they said I wouldn't be able to do anything, and they were right.
Yeah.
So he thinks he has done some stuff. I don't think he has done anything. But perhaps more chilling. I know for you particularly, because I know you have a major issue here. The music he played to introduce himself, was he on stage? I don't know. Yeah, on stage.
He was at the Salford Boys and Girls Club.
At the Salford Boys was Penny Lane by the Beatles. And the Beatles are, of course...
He's a Scouser. And I think he played that song just to wind me up, because he heard about my wall.
He's heard about your comment about the wall.
He's heard I'm going to build a wall between Greater Manchester and Merseyside, and the Scousers are going to pay for it.
Yeah. And we'd leave Andy Burnham on the other side of that, wouldn't we? So that's quite insulting. Why not Oasis
or
Happy Mondays? Well, all the great Manchester bands. Why would he not? The Bee Gees even.
Yeah.
Why the Beatles? Not that I've got a problem with the Beatles, but it's just...
I would imagine he had no idea what the song is, but it just shows how incompetent his team is. That they thought that was an appropriate song.
Yeah.
I can't see him picking that, because he's not a stupid man.
Yeah.
He's always been accused of being a Scouser. He would have gone, we can't play that.
Yeah. So you think that was played without his understanding or knowledge? And also, what's the relevance? What is Penny Lane to do with...
I have no idea.
Manchester Salford Boys Club. What's she trying to say here?
I'm going to have Penny Lane spray painted on the wall, on his side.
When did he launch it, by the way?
Was it Monday? A couple of days ago.
Oh, it was Monday. Yeah. So it was after we drew with Liverpool, and after the FA Cup match where we thrashed them soundly. Yeah. So maybe he's still smarting about that. Not that I think he has any interest in football. I would imagine...
Well, he's an Everton fan, and he only talks about football because he's the man of the people.
Yeah, he's not... I mean, I remember kids like Andy Burnham at school.
Yeah.
We used to beat them up and leave them in the corner, and they had no interest in football. They were in the chess club, you know, they didn't know anything about football, but they pretended they liked football to try and be in with the in crowd, didn't they?
Yeah. I need to tell you off for beating people up at school because of football, so don't do that again.
I was actually in the chess club, unfortunately, so I was probably more like that at that point. So I don't think he's a football fan. I don't think he's an Everton fan. I think he just says what the hell he thinks.
Every major politician tells you what football team is.
Yes, yeah. Because I remember David Cameron did it, and then he got it wrong.
He got it wrong.
He said, I think he said something like, I support Arsenal, and then he said Chelsea later on.
No, he said there's two teams who have roughly the same colours. Purple, burgundy and something.
Was it West Ham or something?
Yeah, and he got him mixed up. He said, I'm a Aston Villa supporter.
Yes, Aston Villa, and then he said West Brom or something.
Yeah, and he got the colours mixed up because he was not speaking off the script. He liked about football, but it makes him a man of the people. I
think he's the same. So, they said I wouldn't be able to do anything. We've proved them wrong. What's he done, Nick? What are his successes?
Well, in that speech, he named two of them. Greater Manchester Police is the most improved police force in the country. Well, of course it is, Andy, because your first 4 years you drove it into the ground. It went into special measures. It was the second time ever in the history of the UK a police force went into special measures under your watch, and you got warned year after year this was coming, and you did nothing. So it went into special measures. You've got a new constable. You're out of special measures now, and it's improving. Well, it's easy to improve when you hit rock bottom. Everything's up from there. So that, he shouldn't be claiming credit for that. And the second thing he claimed credit for was the B network, the buses. Cheaper fares, well, it is cheaper fares for some people, but I've got people from Bolton and Oldham telling me their bus fares have gone up because on their bus route they got a really good deal. But now it's a set fare everywhere. Their bus tickets and their monthly price of tickets have gone up. So there's always winners and losers. So some people's bus prices have gone down. But what he doesn't tell people is the B network. He's got so many years to increase passenger numbers by 30%. Otherwise, the scheme goes bankrupt. And if it goes bankrupt, who's going to pay for it? I'll tell you who'll pay for it. The council taxpayer, who are already subsidising everyone's bus fare at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll be left with the bill, and we're going to have to save the buses. But he won't be around in 3-4 years' time if it goes bankrupt. So it's a bit too soon for him to be claiming credit for the B network. The jury's out on that one. But we need to talk about his failures. So what are his failures? The first failure is the police going to special measures, crimes increasing, drug crimes increasing, violent crimes increasing, assaults are increasing, sexual assaults are increasing all over the last 7 years while he's been in charge. Police going into special measures. Realistically, that should have been enough for him to resign, going into special measures. How we allowed him to get away with that, and then we voted him back in the year later. I don't know how he got away with that. He's Mr. Teflon for that.
But he's not a liar, isn't he? Because they said I wouldn't be able to do anything. We've proved them wrong. Because he has done something.
He's made it worse.
He's made things shit, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Yeah. So
his greatest failure up to now, apart from the police, his number 2 will be the clean air zone. So the clean air zone, for people who don't know, is our version of ULEZ. He tried to sneak it in. He put cameras all over Greater Manchester. This was going to be the biggest in the country.
how much did that cost us?
The price at the moment is, I've seen figures for 300 million. Cameras everywhere. He signed contracts. I think it's 300,000 a month just for to pay the people who are running the cameras, which have never been turned on yet.
They're still being paid 300,000.
Yeah, for the last 2 years, yeah, because they've signed contracts. So you're going to pay us anyway, mate. So he's wasting so much money. That's been his biggest disaster. He had this idea, no one wanted it. The people told him they didn't want it. He lost his bottle. Postponed the scheme. It's still postponed now. He's saying he's going to scrap it now. Wasted hundreds of millions of pounds. He's now said, I've decided to clean up the air now in Greater Manchester without charging anybody. So why didn't you do that in the third? If you can do it now, why didn't you do that I want clean air. So clean up the air without charging people, you idiot.
How's he going to do that?
Electric buses and tweak this and tweak that. He's just saving face. A load of rubbish. There's hardly anything wrong with our air anyway. A couple of trunk roads have got a problem. Electric buses will solve that. But yeah, there isn't really an issue. But he wanted a huge project like the Clean Air Zone because he thought this green agenda was popular, and it would have been an income stream for the mayor that he could have spent on his pet projects to make him look wonderful.
Right.
It was a funding stream for him, but that's gone now. But him to say now, oh, I'm going to do it without charging anybody, well, you should have done that 3 years ago.
Yeah, why didn't you think of that first
and
time?
spent the £300 million on the police and stopped kids being stabbed to death.
Yeah.
That's what you should have done. So his failures are huge.
Is there no chance you can get in a debate with this guy?
No.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. If there was actually, like they do the thing with the presidents where
the big ones I won't be invited to. There was one yesterday on transport, didn't get invited to it because I could have talked about the Clean Air Zone. Wasn't invited. I'm going to one or two that there's a chance he may turn up at one of them that I'm at. All the big ones I won't be invited. He'll be at the big ones I won't.
That's not fair.
It's not fair, is it?
Yeah. We need to get him on the rack, ask him why he played the Beatles song.
Yep.
Say to him, yes, you are right. They said you couldn't do anything, and in fact, you've actually done a load of really crap things, and you've spent a load of our money as well.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to do about that?
One of the worst things he ever said, which I don't think he's ever really answered, was when the Rochdale grooming gang report came out, and he commented on it to the press, and he was saying it was a tragedy that these young women had been abused. They were fucking children, Andy. They weren't young women. They were children. And he said young women. It's like, I don't...
Almost trying to make it sound better.
Well, I don't know if that was a slip of the tongue or if it was a mistake or if he was trying to downplay it. I have no idea, but it's like they weren't young women. They were children. Say it as it is.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask him about that if I got a chance.
That's a really good question. Yeah. He didn't correct himself later on or say these are...
Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've looked into it. Not that I've seen. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.